Hello and welcome to Mr. P's Mathland Online. This video is to help with the metric liter, measuring capacity. This is practice with me video. So, the metric system uses different size units, and when we measure capacity, basically how much liquid is in a container, we measure it using the unit liter. So, the metric system has kiloliters, which means that there is 1,000 liters in a kiloliter, a hectoliter, which is telling us that there's 100 liters in that unit, a deciliter, which is 10 liters in that unit, and then we just have our liter, which would be just one friendly liter. Then we go to the other side and we have less than one whole, the deciliter. Sounds like decimal because it starts us off with the decimal, starts us off with the parts of a liter. So this is 1/10 of a liter. If I took this liter and I broke it into 10 parts, one of those parts would equal 1 deciliter. Then we have a centiliter, which is 1/100th of a liter. I would have to take this liter and break it into 100 parts to get 1 centiliter. Over here, the smallest part we're going to have is 1,000th milliliters, which means there is 1,000 these little milliliters in 1 liter. And those are our capacities units for the metric system. Kiloliters, hectoliters, deciliters, liters, deciliters, centiliters, and milliliters. The most common ones that you're going to hear about are the milliliter, the centiliter, the liter, and the kiloliter. Let's practice now. P1. Find out how many centiliters are in 3 82/100 liters. Pause the video and let's see how you do. All right. First thing I would do is I'd call up my friend King Henry. King Henry danced unusually drinking chocolate milk. I'm going to put in the unit the L because we're using liter units. So I know all of these units here are some kind of a liter. Next, I'm going to see. I'm going from this way to that way, and I want to know the liter or the centiliter. Which is the bigger unit? Well, the centiliter is right here. The liter is right here. So this is going to be my big unit, and that's going to be smaller. So I'm going to go big to small, and that means I'm going to be multiplying. So 3 82/100 multiplied by whatever the relationship is. How many centiliters am I going to find in a liter? Now, if you don't know that already, King Henry can help you there too, because I can see a centiliter to a liter and a liter to a centiliter are 2 jumps away. That means there are 2 powers of 10 between them, which would be 100. So I know that there are 100 centiliters in a liter. So I'm going big to small. I'm going to multiply. Now you could stack them, but I know when I multiply by a power of 10, I'd be multiplying it by 1. And it's going to move 1 power of 10, 2 powers of 10. So all of my place values are going to shift 2 place values. The trick is to move the decimal 2 place values. That way, if I were to multiply this 3 times 100, I would have 300. So let's take a look. Is my decimal in the right spot? This 3 is in the hundreds now. So that would be 382 centiliters is equal to 3 82/100 liters. All right, P2, pause the video and let's see how you do. All right. King Henry danced unusually, drinking chocolate milk. Dealing with liters. So I'm going from this size to that size. Milliliters to centiliters. Milliliters to centiliters. Centiliters are going to be my big. Milliliters are going to be my small. So let's see, that's division. So 63 and 8/10 milliliters is going to be equal to, I have to divide that by, let's see, they're only one place value away from each other, one unit away from each other, so that's 10. I'm going to use my knowledge of dividing by powers of 10, move my decimal, which basically shows all of the place values are changing. If I were to think about this, 60 divided by 10 is 6, so that 6 is in the ones. That makes sense. How'd you do? All right, pause and let's see how you do. King Henry danced unusually, drinking chocolate milk. Liters. Going from kiloliters to liters. Well, I don't even need King Henry for that. I know that the kiloliters are the big units. That means the liters are smaller than the kiloliters, so I will be multiplying. So 4 and 82/100 multiplied by, this is where I might use King Henry. Let's see, a kiloliter and a liter. 1, 2, 3 powers of 10, and that equals 1,000. So I have to multiply by 1,000. I'm going to use my knowledge because I'm going to think, if I were to multiply 4 times 1,000, that would be 4,000. So I'm going to move my decimal. Let's see, I need to move it 1, 2, 3. And in this empty spot, I'm going to put a 0. And let's see, does that make my 4,000? Yep. 4,820 liters is equal to 4 and 82 kiloliters. Pause the video and try this one. King Henry danced unusually, drinking chocolate milk. Liters. All right. So, going from here to there. So, a liter and a centiliter. Well, liters right there, centiliters right there. So, my liter is going to be big. My centiliter is small. And that means I'm going to multiply. So 1 and 4/10 times, let's see, 1, 2, away from each other, that's 100. So I'm going to multiply by 100. Think to myself, 1 whole times 100 is going to equal 100. I can see that there are 2 powers of 10 in 100 by using my cheat code. So that means if I move it 1, 2, and add a 0 there, that 1 is now in the hundreds place value. So it makes sense. So 140 centiliters is equal to 1 and 4/10 liters. Last one. Give it a try, pause it, and let's see how you do. King Henry danced unusually, drinking chocolate milk. Liters. All right, let's see. Liters is my big. Centiliters is small. You can see liters is here, centiliters is there. I'm going small to big, so I know I'm going to divide. So 245 divided by, let's see, 1, 2, so that's 100. I'm going to divide that by 100. So again, I'm going to start thinking. 245. If I were to divide 200 by 100, I would get 2. So let's see. If I had a decimal there, I would move 2 places because there's 2 powers of 10. 1, 2. Does that turn that 200 into a 2? Yes, it does. It's in the ones. 2 and 45 hundredths liters. All right, well, how'd you do? Hopefully well. I want to thank you for mathing with me in Mathland. If you have any questions, please reach out to your teachers. You can watch this video again, maybe slow it down, pause it, see how it's going, watch some other videos, but continue on in Mathland and have a wonderful day growing your math brain. I'm going to count down from 5 now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.